Hey everyone, welcome back to Chemistry CC for you. So I hope all of your preparations are going really well. This video is very simple, and before I begin with the video, I have a few announcements to make. So if time permits, I'm going to make one more video for the part A of QCET, and also I have promised you for about a physical chemistry important formula video. I'm trying to sum it up. So I think I'll be able to upload that video by tonight or possibly by tomorrow morning. So in that there will be no shortcuts or anything, but it will be a video just to make you memorize all the formulas, important formulas that is required for the examination. And today this video is a very simple video, but some of the people would really need this because it is some mathematical tricks, units and constants for chemistry examinations. You all often you get confused in these units and in these kinds of constants and tricks. So we are going to take a look at it. So first of all, I have already in my previous video told you to learn certain logs. So log 2, 3, 5 and 7. And I have already told you if you know these logarithmic value, you can find any other value from these. So you might be wondering what happens when you have decimals. So in all those cases, approximations are possible, and mostly in most of the cases, you will get almost round numbers, which can be written in terms of 2, 3, 5 and 7. So also you need to know the connection between ln and log. So ln is equal to 2.303 into log. Again, if you even if you have ln in your equation, or you can use these four log values to solve that questions by multiplying it with 2.303. And basically you need to have four different you need to memorize four different equations. That is, if you have two numbers m and n, log m into n we can be written as log m plus log n. So this is not in, it is n. So log m plus log n. And if you have log m divided by n, that is these are two numbers, then you can write the value as log m minus log n. Similarly, if you have log 10 raised to n, it is n log 10, where log 10 is equal to 1. So we can write it as n. So if you have log 10 raised to minus 5, the value will be equal to minus 5. Log of 10 raised to minus 5 will be equal to minus 5. And log m raised to n will be equal to n log m. Now, where do we apply this? We need these equations in these logarithmic values mostly in the case of kinetics as well as electrochemistry, and in thermodynamics also. In some cases we need this logarithmic values, and mostly we need this for kinetics, and many questions would come from the kinetic part where you need to solve the logarithmic value. Now let's take an example. For example, if you are asked to find log 6, how can we write log 6 in terms of these four logs, that is 2, 3, 5 and 7? So we can split it as 2 into 3. We can write 6 as 2 into 3, and log 2 into log 6 therefore equal to log 2 into 3. So by this equation, log m into n, we can write it as log 2 plus log 3. We know the value of log 2 and log 3, which is 0.301 and 0.477, and our answer will be equal to 0.778. So that way we have solved the question for the logarithmic value. So this is the method to use the log without the log table. So this is the first technique. Now these are the common logarithm and the log value. You can just take a snapshot if you want, but I prefer you to study log 2, log 3, 4, log 3, log 5 and log 7. These would be more than enough for you to solve most of the questions, but if you can, it is good to memorize the first 10 of them, the first 10 numbers. Now, second type of question where we have a lot of confusions in the units and all those things, it is values of ideal gas equation. So at standard temperature and pressure, that is when pressure is equal to 1 atm, temperature is 273 Kelvin or 0 degrees Celsius, taking n as 1, the volume of gas will be equal to 22.4 liter. So first of all, here you have a lot of information. At standard temperature and pressure, the volume will be 22.4, and in such cases R value can be written as 0.0821 liter atm per mole Kelvin. So it can be also written as L will be sometimes L will be given as capital atm, then you will be having mole raised to minus 1, Kelvin raised to minus 1. So this 0 degrees Celsius you need not check, because mostly temperature is always expressed in Kelvin itself. So pressure 1 atm, if it is given in atm, 27 in Kelvin, temperature in Kelvin, and volume in liter, then your gas constant should be equal to 0.0821 liter atm per mole Kelvin. Further, in CGS system, that is in CGS system, N and T remain same, no unit change. That is, N will be equal to 1 mole and T is equal to Kelvin itself. But what happens to pressure? It will become equal to not 1 atm, but instead of that, you will have dyne per meter square. So dynes per meter square, and volume will become ml. So in such cases, your value will be equal to 8.314 into 10 raised to 7 ergs per mole Kelvin. So this would be the value in ergs per mole Kelvin. So these kinds of question can be always expected. So 8.314 into 10 raised to 7 ergs per mole Kelvin for CGS system. So in such cases, your pressure will be given in dyne per meter square. Also, in MKS system, where pressure is given in Newton per meter square and volume is given as meter cube. So, volume is given as 22.4 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. In such cases, you will be having 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin, or it can also be written in calorie per mole Kelvin as 1.98 calorie per mole Kelvin. So, if you are having every value in joule in terms of joule and mole Kelvin, then in such cases what you will do, you will be having the value as 8.314, and if calorie per mole Kelvin, it is 1.98. So these are the common values of the ideal gas equation, gas constant. Please memorize this, try to memorize this, because in the previous questions that I have discussed, you might have come across this problem multiple times. Next, this is an important point. So for reactions involving strong acids and alkalis, the values of enthalpy change of neutralizations are very, very closely similar, and the value would be between minus 57 and minus 58 kilojoules per mole. So this is a very important point, because in some problems maybe they would just give you that it is HCl and it is NaOH, or so we'll be asked to find the enthalpy change without giving any values. So in such cases, you could see which value is closest to minus 57 or minus 58 kilojoule per mole, and you could directly go with that answer, because this is a known fact that for reactions involving strong acids and alkalis, the values of enthalpy change of neutralization are always close to 57, minus 57 or minus 58. Next, this is another set of equations and constants that you need to remember. 1 dBA. So, you know, this is in electrochemistry chapter. So, 1 dBA is equal to minus 10 raised to minus 18 ESU centimeter, or it is about 3.336 into 10 raised to minus 30 coulomb meter. This is not in electrochemistry. I'm sorry. This is for dipole moment. So, for dipole moment between two different charges, separated by distance d, mu can be written as q into d, where q is the charge of the molecule. So q will be the charge of the point charges, and d is the d dBA, in the distance between the two. If it is d, we'll get the value as magnetic moment, dipole electric dipole moment of the molecules can be written as mu is equal to q into d. Most of the times we don't know it, so the q is the point charges and d is the distance between the charges. So we can write this unit 1 dBA. So the value will be given in dBA, and this dBA can be written as 3.336 into 10 raised to minus 3 coulomb meters. Next, again, this one is from the electrochemistry chapter. So 1 Faraday of electric charge corresponds to the charge on a mole of electrons. That is 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 charge on a mole of electrons, 23 electrons. That is, if it is said that you have 1 Faraday of electric charge, then it means that 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 electrons will be present in that. So also, hence 1 Faraday charge will be equal to 96,485, or approximately 96,500 coulombs. So the Faraday's constant thereby can be written as 96,485.33 coulomb per mole, or we can also write it as 96,500. So this is how you need to remember the Faraday's constant. So 1 Faraday of electric charge corresponds to charge on charge on a mole of electrons. So 1 mole of electron consists of 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 electrons. So totally the charge Faraday becomes in coulombs, it becomes 96,485.33, or we can write Faraday's constant as 96,500 coulomb per mole. Next, this is from nuclear chemistry. I would like to include this one here. So in nuclear chemistry, we have different units for radioactivity. This can be asked as direct question. So in radioactivity, 1 curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegrations per second. 1 becquerel is equal to 1 disintegration per second. 1 rad is equal to 0.01 gray. So I would suggest you to memorize these two. These would be fine. You will be okay even if you forget this one, but try to remember all of them. And 1 Roentgen will be equal to 0.000258 coulomb per kilogram. So again, 1 curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 becquerel. Okay, so we can also write it like that. 1 curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 becquerel. Next, from the chapter of atomic structure, here you need Rydberg constant. Rydberg constant value R is equal to 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 per meter. In joules, this should be written as 2.718 into 10 raised to minus 18 joules. So in Rydberg constant in terms of joules, so in this is per meter. So in such cases, we will write it as wave number. There we use this value. So now in joules, 1 Rydberg constant will be equal to 2.718 into 10 raised to minus 18 joules. I hope you know how this energy unit is coming. So you know about E is equal to, so you know E is equal to hc by lambda, and 1 by lambda is equal to hc nu bar. So in such cases, your Rydberg constant becomes this value. Since when we are using this energy value, in such cases, your this 2.78 into 10 raised to minus 18 joules will be required. And Rydberg constant for hydrogen, RH is equal to 1.096, approximately 1.096 into 10 raised to 7. And for helium it is 1.0, approximately equal to 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 per meter. So this is per meter. Okay, so that is the value of Rydberg constant for hydrogen and helium. Further, let's talk about some part of Beer-Lambert's law. So this again, so in that absorbance, we know what is Beer-Lambert's law is an important concept in the part where we discuss about transmittance and absorbance and all these things. So absorbance can be written as ECL, where E is the wavelength dependent molar absorptivity coefficient, and it is a constant for a particular substance. So E has units of liter per mole per centimeter. So from this equation, A is equal to ECL, what you can find is basically you can get so basically from this you can find the units of absorbance also, because absorbance will be having, it is usually expressed as absorbance units or AU, but we can write it as liter per mole per centimeter, because the definition of molar absorptivity coefficient is that it is the absorbance when we have the unit concentration and the length of the cell is unit length. So in such cases, the absorbance will become equal to molar absorption coefficient. So therefore the unit will be same, liter per mole per centimeter. And how to find the transmittance? So transmittance can be written as A is equal transmittance, and the relation between transmittance and absorbance is that absorbance is equal to log to the base 10 1 by T. So in such case, we know that the log value will be resulting in a constant. So the unit will be the transmittance will be percentage transmittance, and this can be found, the units can be directly found from the absorbance unit in terms of AU. And basically from this equation itself, you can understand that transmittance do not have any unit. And we also know that transmittance can be also written as, you know, the other formula where transmittance is equal to I by I0, where I is the intensity after the after passing through the cell, and the initial intensity of the light if it is I0. So basically transmittance does not have a unit, and absorbance has a unit same as the molar absorption coefficient, and these are the formulas that you have to use for the conversions from absorbance to transmittance. So I have not covered this part in previous videos, that's why I have told about this right now. Next, all know two other constant that you should never forget. One is the Boltzmann's constant and the other is Planck's constant. So Planck's constant H is equal to 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34. Please be careful of the unit. It is joule second, and Boltzmann constant Kv is equal to 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23. Again, joule per Kelvin. You need to be very careful about the units, because always students make mistake, because you will have very similar answers in the similar options, but only difference would be in the units. In such cases, please don't be trapped to the trapped with the confusion that the question makers wanted to create. Just so these are the things that I want to discuss today. Uh, as I said, I'll be uploading the physical chemistry formula video very soon. Please go through this video very shortly, so that you can be sure of your conversions and the mathematics. That's all. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. Prepare well and all the best.